Hey guys! So today I thought it would be fun to do a full face of makeup techniques that are out of my comfort zone. Techniques that I don't normally do or techniques that I've been avoiding trying because I'm a little scared, a little bit intimidated, but I am really excited to do this because I feel like it's a good way to get out of a makeup rut, try some new things, branch out, and the great thing is you don't have to buy anything new to try new techniques. So I'm going to be using all products that I have already had in my collection for a while. I'm going to use a lot of my Shop My Stash items and just revisit some older products while we try a bunch of new to me makeup techniques. So I asked you guys over on Instagram the other day what techniques you think I should try, and there were so many good ones that came through, a lot that were repeated over and over again. I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I can all in one look today. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first technique we're going to try today is underpainting. I've also heard this referred to as the reverse foundation technique, and this is a trend that's been kind of in and out of popularity, at least over the past few years. Most recently, it was popularized by Mary Phillips, who is a celebrity makeup artist, and I think this has become really popular on TikTok again. This is essentially where you apply your contour before your foundation. You can also do your blush and other cheek products, but the idea behind this technique is really just that it's supposed to make your contour look more natural rather than having it on top of your face, which can sometimes look a little bit overdone. So I'm going to use my Oma contour stick today. I think for underpainting, it's a good idea to use cheek products that are not too light and subtle. Like, for example, I probably wouldn't want to use my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in Feel and Shady just because this is a little bit more sheer and light, and so this, I think, lends itself better to just, traditional application over foundation, but my Oma contour stick is a bit more pigmented. So I'm going to be a little bit more heavy-handed than usual with this because I'm going to be going over it with foundation, but I'm going to draw this onto my brush, and let's just go on in. Hello. Now, there was another foundation technique that came through that I don't think I am brave enough to do, but it's another TikTok viral trend from Meredith Duxbury, which is essentially where you use 10 pumps of foundation and just literally just coat your face in foundation. I don't know if I can bring myself to do that, honestly. I don't think it would work with underpainting anyway, and I really wanted to try underpainting because it's been a while since I've done this, and honestly, the thought of putting 10 pumps of foundation on my face, I just don't think I can bring myself to do it. Maybe the next time I do this video, I'll try it, but I don't know. Today, we're just gonna stick to underpainting. It's a little bit more tame, a little bit more my speed. I'm gonna try a little bit on the nose as well. I'm gonna use just this small crease brush. I know some people put some kind of across there and then down here. Okay. I closed my blinds. I had them open because sometimes I like to let a little natural light in, but it can make things a little uneven looking, so I went ahead and closed them, and now should be able to get a little bit more of an even look at what's going on here. Another technique that was requested was blush draping. So I'm going to try this underpainting style as well. I watched a Wayne Goss video where he showed a blush draping tutorial, and he did it under his foundation as well. So the idea behind blush draping is you're almost using your blush as a form of a contour, and you're just putting it in more parts of your face than just the cheeks, which is, I mean, I kind of do that anyway, but I'm using my Minori cream blush in Scarlet, by the way. A lot of times you'll kind of bring it up the temples and almost like the eye area here, this outer part of the eye, you're almost using it to sculpt the face rather than just on the apples of the cheeks. You can also put some on the forehead, put some here, even the nose, like the bridge of the nose, a little bit on the sides, and I'm gonna put some on the chin as well. Now that I look like I've been out in the sun for way too long, next we're gonna go in with foundation. I think I'm just going to use my Project Pan foundation, which is the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. I do think it's best to use a foundation that is not very high coverage, like something more light to medium coverage I think is best for underpainting so that you're not completely covering up all the product you just put down. And all the tutorials I saw for underpainting, it seemed like people tend to use brushes for this, so I'll probably go in with my sponge at the end, but I will go ahead and apply this with my brush. So I have it on my hand. I'm just going to pick some up on my brush And I'm gonna start it in the parts of my face that don't have a ton of product and then work it out from there. I'm trying not to put too much foundation over the blush and contour because I don't want to completely cover them up. Also, I feel like I have so much contour in my hair right now. How did that happen? Just like this. This makes my hairline look so dark. Looks like I used a foundation that was way too dark for me. Okay, I'm just gonna try to blend that out. What do we think? Does it look good or... I do think I can still see the contour peeking through. The blush I sort of feel like just got covered up, but then again, I like a pretty strong blush, so I don't know. I'm liking the way the contour looks, but the blush, I feel like I'm going to need to add more blush, honestly. But let's do concealer now. I'm going to do a little color corrector on the under eyes. Just kind of focusing it in on the inner corner. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of my NYX Bear With Me concealer over that. I do want to take a little more blush. Just, I mean, not a ton, but I just want to, I want to be able to see it. But I'm just using really light hand this time. Alright, for powder, I'm not going to do anything out of the ordinary. I'm just using a translucent setting powder to set my whole face. So I used my e.l.f. Halo Glow on the under eyes, and I'm using my LYS Triple Fix setting powder on the face. And this is a pretty translucent setting powder, so hopefully it won't cover up any of the other stuff we've done. I probably wouldn't do underpainting with blush again unless I had a super pigmented blush that I felt like was too pigmented over foundation. That might be a good technique. But I do have to say I'm liking the way the contour looks. Like, it's looking very natural, and you really can't tell that I am wearing a ton of contour, which I am. The last time I did one of these videos was a long time ago. I attempted graphic liner. It was a bit of a disaster, but a lot of people requested that I try it again, so we're gonna try it again. And I think I have a better grasp of what I need to do this time. I want to use a fun color. I think I want to use this green shade in my Lethal 12 pan palette. I think this is the shade Coven. I'm not gonna do like the full graphic liner that goes all the way across. So I'm just gonna start with a wing, and then I also want to try the little inner corner little thing. So, all right, let's just start with the wing. Can you tell I'm nervous? Okay. So I'm gonna start with just a simple wing. The reason why I'm using a shadow and not like a liquid liner today is because I think eyeshadows are a little bit easier to work with. You can really slowly build them up. Whereas sometimes with liquid liner, it's like, feels more high stakes. Starting with just a half wing, really just taking it in to the center of my eye. Another thing I'm doing is I'm holding the mirror from the palette up close, and then I also have my little standing mirror a little further back so I can see really up close and then what it looks like a little farther away. Sometimes, like, if I'm looking too up close, I'm not really able to see the big picture, but then if I'm looking too far away, I can't see what I'm doing. So I like having two mirrors for this kind of thing. So I'm gonna extend this wing pretty far out, like a little farther out than I normally go. And then from there, I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Did you see what I did there? I'm just really lightly creating like a little V. And then I'm kind of stopping that line also in the center, kind of right where I stopped the line on the lash line. So I'm also going to take some of that here in the inner corner. I actually think I might use a slightly bigger or like wider eyeliner brush. The one I used for that, the main part, was the BK Beauty 208, which is a really small liner brush. I think for the inner corner, I'm going to try this Sigma E75. It's the angled brow brush, but it's a little bit wider than that BK Beauty one. Similar shape though. I feel like this might just make it a little easier to stamp on the V. So I'm going to start down here. And I'm really just keeping that right around the tear duct. I'm not bringing it in. I kind of do want there to be a little gap here on the upper lash line because I do want to put a little bit of a shimmer there in the center, but I'm trying to make this inner corner as sharp as possible. So now what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of one of the shimmers from my Clarity So Amazing palette, thinking either this one or this one would be pretty. I want like a very translucent, sparkly shimmer. I think I'll do this yellow one. This is the shade Don't Be Shellfish, and it's like a yellow-green duochrome. So I think that'll be pretty with this green liner. And I'm just going to take the smallest little bit of that and tap it here in the center of my lid. Really just focusing it there in the center and just tapping it out. And I also want to take just a little bit of that on my lower lash line too. Just right there. Sometimes I like taking a really sparkly shimmer just on the center of my lower lash line. I feel like it just opens up the eye a little bit. Okay, that is so fun. And that's gonna be it for eyeshadow. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm realizing that my face is a lot darker looking than my neck and chest. The thing with underpainting is that the contour, where you place it, it's not necessarily going to fully stay put. Like, some of it is going to end up moving around and getting mixed in with your foundation. That's the thing about underpainting that, I don't know, I just can't fully get on board with it because I feel like, I just realized, like, look how much darker my face is than my neck and chest and everything. And I tried to blend everything down. What I'll do is I'll just take some bronzer. I'll just use actually a mix of buttermilk and batter from the BH Cosmetics Belgian Waffle palette. Just mix those two together. Good enough for now. So before I finish off the eyes with lashes, we are going to do false lashes today. Spoiler. I'm going to do my brows. And today's brow technique is going to be faux laminated brows, and I'm going to achieve that with soap. There's a few different ways you can fake a laminated brow look, and laminated brows, if you're not familiar, it's a procedure that you can get done. Sorry, there's a cat hair in the air. It's a procedure you can get done with that essentially like laminates your brows flat onto your face. And usually it gives the brows a very lifted look. That's my understanding of it anyway, but we're going to do that. We're basically going to do soap brows. So the only bar soap I have right now is my Dr. Bronner's soap. I've gone ahead and gotten it wet. And I'm just going to take a spoolie and pick up some of the soap. I know usually with soap brows it's best to use like one of those clear soaps, but hopefully this will work. So I've picked up some soap on my spoolie here. And now I am just going to brush my brows upward. Believe it or not, I've never done soap brows before. Okay, I'm just working that through. Sorry, I'm like leaning so far forward. Brushing that through. You can kind of see a little bit of the white soap. I do think it would be ideal to have a clear soap, but we're trying to use what we have here, okay? So I'm gonna take, now I have this e.l.f. Brow Lift applicator. It's supposed to go with their brow lift, but it has this flat end that you can use to push the brow hairs in place, so I'm gonna do that now. Okay, not bad. I do feel like it's kind of like lifting up my foundation, but we can go back over that and fix that. Now for the other side. Just kind of trying to basically glue them flat against my face. Okay, I'm just going to take my finger here and kind of try to wipe off any excess soap there. Actually, I'm going to tap over that with my concealer brush just to even it out. No, that's not looking good at all. It's like completely lifted up and separated my foundation there. I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer. I'm actually just going to like put it on this brush. and try to tap it over that. Really, this side ended up with that problem more than this side. This side, I think I used a little bit too much soap over here, or my brush was a little, or my spoolie was a little too wet, I think is what happened. Better. Not great, but better. Now I'm just tapping over it with a sponge. Okay, that should be probably about as good as it gets. So now I'm just gonna go over that with my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. I'm just gonna do as few strokes as possible with this, but I'm just gonna try to fill in the gaps a little bit. Alright, as usual, this brow is looking decent. This brow is looking wonky. About what I expected. I think I just need some practice, honestly. Yeah, I don't mind that look. I actually really like the way this brow turned out. Alright, next I'm gonna do a quick coat of mascara, but I am gonna go in with false lashes today. Okay, so for lashes, I am gonna try these Ardell Eco lashes. This is in the style called 451. And I chose these because they're not super full. I still want that fun liner to show through, so hopefully these will not cover them up too much. This is a great time to finally use some of my false lashes. I have a nice little collection of false lashes, but I hardly ever use them. I might need to trim these lashes a little bit. Let me see. I'm just going to trim off just this last little group of lashes on the end here. Alright, glue is on there. I like to let the glue somewhat dry, just a little bit to where it gets a little bit tacky. Okay, that did not work. Let me try that again. Alright, now that it's on there, I'm sort of pinching the band together with my lashes. See, this is the part that I'm having trouble with, is the very inner band. It looks really obvious to me, but maybe that's just the way it's gonna look. I might have just put that on the wrong eye. Okay. I'm gonna try one more time. Alright, that was the third attempt, and I feel like the band of these lashes is maybe just a little bit too thick. At least for this look, because like if I had black liner on, I don't think it would be noticeable at all. But I do feel like in this inner part you can kind of see the band. I'm trying to like pinch it with pinch both my lashes and the lash band together with the tweezers. Okay, that looks pretty good. I do like that style. It's nice and wispy. I think I might just prefer half lashes, honestly. Like, I find those so much easier to apply. Like, that inner corner of the band is always lifting up on me. I think I need to get one of those, like, lash applicators, because these tweezers are just not quite right. But I think that is the best it's gonna get. It's really hard to get the lash band like super close to the lash line. Okay, now I'm just gonna touch up the green liner a little bit because I had to go I had to try the lashes like 3 separate times. Alright, I'm still not sold on this inner corner situation. That is going to take some practice. But overall, I'm liking how this look has turned out. Okay, I do want just a little bit more blush. Because I also feel like I might have accidentally wiped some of it away when I was up close with the false lashes. I'm just taking a little bit of my Kokie Soft Gradient Blush in Bellissima. It's a similar color to that Minori cream blush, just a red color. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more to my cheeks. Alright, so the final technique is going to be on my lips, and I'm going to be trying some shimmer on top of my lipstick. I'm just going to use one of the shimmers again from the Clarity palette. I might actually just use the same one again, but I want to do a pink lip. This is the Urban Decay lipstick in Art Walk. It's just a nice mid-tone pink. I feel like it looks really pretty with a green like this. And then I'm going to go into my Clarity palette again, and I think I'm just going to take some more of that same shade that I have on my eyes and just tap a little bit of that on the center of my lips. So yeah, just keeping it in the center. Ooh, yeah. That's fun. I'm not going to apply a ton. I actually did try this the other day and I posted a short of that where I used this palette on my eyes, cheeks, and lips, and I used a combination of the pink and the yellow shimmers on my lips in that short. And I've actually been really into that technique lately. I mean, I've only done it twice so far, including today, but I just think it's such a fun way to use your eyeshadows. And I also feel like that ties the eyes and lips together really nicely because I used the same shimmer on both the eyes and the lips. Yeah, I like that. This time, compared to the previous time I did that, I used just a little bit less shimmer, which I actually think I prefer it this way. It's a little bit more subtle. I mean, it's still definitely like obvious that I have shimmer on my lips, but the time before it looked a lot more frosty because I just put a lot more on, but this time it's just a little bit more subtle. And I also like that because this is a duochrome eyeshadow, it gives a really nice shift to my lips. So wow, that was a fun way to end things off. And I have to say, I mean, this is definitely out of my comfort zone. Out of all these tips, the ones I would say that I liked the best, I like the graphic liner. I do think I just need to keep practicing. The problem is I always chicken out. And I want to get better at graphic lining. The only way to get better at it is to keep doing it. So you guys can hold me to this. I'm going to really try to wear more graphic liner in videos. I'll try to do it more often when I do little short tutorials because it's something I want to get better at. It's really fun, and I don't know why I don't do it more often, but I do really I like the vibe of the eye look. I do think that the liner could have been a little bit more symmetrical. And I definitely want to work on this inner V, whatever you call that, the inner liner, because I just feel like it looks a little bit messy, but I like the overall vibe, and I love just that shimmer in the center of the lid with the graphic liner. I just think it looks so fun, such a fun editorial look. The soap brows, I have to say, I really like the way my brows look right now. Like, the more I have been looking at them, the more I do like them. I'm interested to see how well they stay in place. If they stay in place well, then I will definitely try this again. I'll use less like soap next time because this area got a little bit messy, but all in all, like, I do like how well my brows have kept their shape so far. So I would say really the only thing I didn't love was the underpainting, and that may just be something I need to try a few more times just to get the hang of it, but I just feel like my face looks so dark compared to the rest of my body, and it kind of just looks like I have like too much makeup on my face. Even though underpainting is supposed to look more natural, I kind of feel like my face doesn't look very natural right now. But then again, neither does my eyeshadow or my lipstick, so we're not really going for a natural look today. But the eyes, the lips, the brows, all of that I really like. And I also like blush draping. I want to keep doing that as well. Maybe next time I'll try it without doing the underpainting so that I can just focus a little bit more on the blush placement itself. This was so fun. Great way to just experiment with some new techniques, and I do think I'm gonna keep playing with a lot of these techniques and try to improve my skills. But thank you guys so much for helping to push me outside my comfort zone today. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do also have a Patreon and a channel membership if you'd like to support my channel further. Otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye!